We had a big show tonight on the 7th of February 2024 for AEW Dynamite. We had Sting winning gold, we had a new number one contender set for Revolution, and we had a lot on the show. And I think for the first time in a long time, could AEW be the best show of the week so far? Or just in general, because it's not like SmackDown's producing anything great. Of course, tonight, though, we do have the WrestleMania press conference, so that shall be pretty interesting to say the least. But as for right now, Fog Wrestling, we're going to have to get into the show. And of course, like I said, we've got Women's Championship Eliminators, we've got Jericho in a match, we've a trio match, but I think what we all came here for is the stinger, damn it. And we kick off the show with a draw. Honestly. Like, I just don't understand why this match has got to go so long. We get a 30-minute draw to kick off the show. Honestly, like, this illusion, right, that wrestling is all about wrestling is delusional. Like, they're giving us this 30-minute match for a number one contender spot. And you know what, right? See, in the past, we've had great number one contender spots, but they didn't need like 35 minutes here. It ends in a draw. Tony Schiavone points out, oh, I can't believe 20 minutes have passed. Then he's like, I can't believe 25 minutes have passed. Then 30 passed and we couldn't believe it. Then Swerve takes the mic and he's like, I'm not letting you get away this easy, big man. 5 more minutes. So, yeah, Paige then says tonight that Swerve had to beat him to be number one contender. He did not. Paige then says for Swerve, it's over. Paige rolls out the ring. Then Tony Schiavone stands up and says, this ain't over. We've got 2 number one contenders. And at Revolution, we will say a free-way dance. So we've got Samoa Joe. He says AEW celebrating mediocrity. Neither guy won. They don't deserve to be in the ring with Joe. Come Revolution, Joe walks in as champion and walks out as champion. I don't know. I feel like with Samoa Joe at the minute, they're kind of like booking him, kind of like Roman Reigns. I feel like that's something he would come out and say. But you know what? AEW's not really did many multi-man matches for the belt. So you know what? I welcome this, even though the match is pretty much being contested with jobbers. But at the same time, I'm not going to bury it overly. Deonna Purrazzo then joins commentary as we have our next match of the night. It is Toni Storm taking on Red Velvet. Toni Storm wins. I like this Toni Storm gimmick. I'm not going to hate on it too much. I do enjoy it, to be fair. We also had a few like table spots in the Strickland and Hangman Adam Page match. We had a lot of table spots tonight. And you know what? I like table spots. I do. I mean, I feel like over the years, though, that the value and the weight of them is kind of completely wore down compared to like when the Dudleys whipped out tables. It felt like shit was about to go down back in the day. But anyway, we'll see more tables tonight. Renee's in the back with the best friends. Cassidy, he's defending his title against Agile this Saturday as Trent finds that weird. Trio match versus Undisputed Kingdom on Rampage. That's what's happening next, and they do the whole hand thing, which is just embarrassing. We then have the Blackpool Combat Club taking on Hikacero, Follador Jr. and Mascara Dorada. This is just a jobber match. Why does the Blackpool Combat Club... Like, that's the problem, though. See, when you set up like a trios division, there's going to be so many times where there's going to be like a trio that's built as like the main event trio, so to speak, taking on a trio that's just built up of jobbers, and that's exactly what we've got here. The Blackpool Combat Club win. Is anyone honestly shocked about that's what happened? Honestly, no. We are not, my friends. We are absolutely not. Tony Khan then says about his big announcement is that earlier today, TD Garden, Wednesday, March 13th, is entitled Big Business. He says that will be a night that the wrestling world will never forget. Alright, and then we also have after the trios match a big beatdown. Who really cares? Honestly, I just don't really get this. We then have Chris Jericho taking on Kensuke Take a Shit At. And Jericho gets put in the lion tamer and taps. I think Chris Jericho is done. Like, yeah, you know what? See here, right? It wasn't exactly clean. There was a screwdriver involved. There was a nasty spot where Jericho like banged his head. AEW's full of them these. I feel like the entire wrestling business is full of these days, man. Jericho though, amount of bumps he's taken this match at like 50 odd years old is quite incredible. But yeah, few of the moves, Jericho was just getting up straight away, and it was a wee bit annoying. But then we have our match 5. We have got Ricky Starks and Big Bill defending against Sting and Darby Allin. And you know what you notice, like we're already through to match 5 on this AEW show, and it's like it's just so match heavy. Like, what is actually the excuse for the sheer amount of matches on AEW these days? And it's like you've got 5 matches, pretty much no segments, and what have you got in return? Long ass matches. I mean, the first match was like 30 odd minutes, right? And then you've got Overload on this main event, just dragged on and dragged on. Now, what I would say is, I don't like Darby Allin. Actually, I hate Darby Allin. His physique, he's not a professional wrestler. He belongs in Blockbuster or CEX or Game or HMV, one of those things. And here he is, tag teaming with Sting. What was a nice touch though during this match? We actually had Sting's family out there. We had his 2 sons, and it's weird because we're currently reviewing TNA from like 2006, and of course his crowd, not his crowd, there's like a feud going on with Jeff Jarrett, and when he sends Alex Shelley to his house, we see his kids, so it just shows you like even how much time has passed since then. Like, these are 2 grown fucking men. Like, I mean, they look like they're at least 30, and it's quite incredible. But we start, Sting was giving it his all during this match with some nasty table spots, with people getting busted open with some mad table spots. Sting then splashes off the top. You know what? Fair play to Sting. Like, as much as I think a lot of this work, right, is incredibly unsafe, he's still. I can't. But I mean, honestly, like, you're lost for words at how good he is in the ring for a guy that's like 66. It's incredible. But then I think it's just a bit his trade. I mean, the guy's been wrestling at this point for years. Like, we're talking years at this point, and there's like, this is the guy at any age you'd expect to put on a decent match. He is, honestly. I think for longevity, Sting is the best. I've got to say that. Like, even Ric Flair. Like, I mean, I like Ric Flair, but by the end, I mean, he wasn't exactly damn much, to say the least. I mean, his last match against Michaels was good, but I mean, Michaels carried that. Then his last match there was a bit of a disaster. But you know what? Was this great to see Sting counter a spear, hit the Scorpion Death Drop, and see him win 1, 2, 3? Yeah, I like Sting. Love seeing him in WCW. I thought his WWE run was alright, and I love seeing him in TNA. Seeing Sting win this belt was great. I'll go ahead and say that. I'll actually say something AEW did was great. Seeing Sting finally win a belt in this company, an icon, a legend like this, it's a feel good moment. You know, if you don't like someone like Sting in the wrestling business, you're not really. I don't think you're a wrestling fan. I mean, this is a guy that's done it all across 4 decades, or 5 decades. Sorry, the 20s, 10s, 2000s, 90s, and 80s. Hell, he probably wrestled in the 70s at some point as well. This is a true legend. And it's sad that he's winning the belt next to Darby Allin. It is. He wins, though. They're the new tag team champions. He calls his sons into the ring. It's great to see this. Great guy, Sting. Wish him only the best in retirement, which is sadly just under a month away. But then after the match, what happens? The Young Bucks come out. They attack Darby Allin, Sting, and his 2 sons. There's so many moves getting done here. They're wearing like pure white. Darby Allin's busted open. I think Sting was busted open a wee bit. There's blood all over their white suits. And yeah, that's how we end the show, with the Bucks leaving Sting and Darby Allin in a bloody mess with the titles laid over their bodies, with Sting's son also laid out. And you know what? I bury AEW, and most of the time rightfully so. But this ending with Sting winning the belt in this match, with this like beatdown, a bloody beatdown, I actually thought was very well done. Tony Khan's actually done something right here. WWE could learn a thing or two for this. I'm not saying WWE's not capable of doing this, but how many Raws, right? You just seem to end with like Drew McIntyre beating Damian Priest, and it just goes off the air cold. colder than the other side of the pillow. This went off the air hot. It made you think, oh fuck, I can't wait to see Sting whip those two jobbers ass in the Young Bucks. I mean, I hate Darby Allin and the Young Bucks, and yet here they are actually producing a decent segment. Now Sting isn't involved. A lot of involvement and investment for me goes out the window, but overall, really enjoyed this ending match and segment. And yeah, I mean the Jericho match was alright. I like Tony Storm, and I thought the opener was just far too long, but it was an alright match. I'm going to give this AEW show, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. By our standards, that's quite good, but it just lacks promos and segments. That's what you need. I know the ending's kind of like a segment, so I'll say kudos to that, but you were like 2 good promos away here for like a 5 out of 10 from us. But anyway, guys, that's us done. Till next time, peace.